Welcome back, everybody. This is another kind of adult-themed movie that Mae Whitman, the little girl that I mentioned in When a Man Loves a Woman, the last review, was also in. But this one is more kind of appropriate to watch, even, well, not necessarily, but it's you can watch this one more with your kids than you can the last one, When a Man Loves a Woman. It's this movie here, When Hope Floats, and this is of course another Sandra Bullock movie, and it's got Harry Connick Jr., Gena Rowlands, of course Mae Whitman, Gena Rowlands. This also has Kathy Najamy in it, and Kathy Najamy actually's got a smaller part in this movie than she did in Practical Magic. This is a really good movie to watch, like if, like you're, knowing some kids that are kind of going through like a divorce, with their parents and everything, because it's about Sandra Bullock's character, Birdie Pruitt, is in this movie at the beginning. She goes on Kathy Najamy's show, and she, is invited onto that talk show under the impression that she's gonna get a free makeover. As Gena Rowlands' character says, the character's name is Ramona, she's like, "Oh, you got made over. It's just, a different kind of makeover." It's pretty accurate, comment on this. This movie was released on May 29th, 1998. The other movie, When a Man Loves a Woman, was released back in '94. So, I mean, you could tell a huge difference between Mae Whitman and When a Man Loves a Woman in this movie, because, she's a little older. I didn't realize it was the same kid till I looked her up. And in this movie, it talks about, Dad. Birdie's dad's got Alzheimer's, and Birdie also has to rebuild her relationship with Ramona, Gena Rowlands' character, because they're estranged. Birdie and Ramona are estranged because Ramona does taxidermy and it's just everything. And there's a character named Justin Matisse that Harry Connick Jr. plays, and Ramona's trying to hook Birdie back up with Justin, and Birdie's fighting it, and she's like, "No, I just want to get over dealing with the situation with my estranged husband, Bill." And after she finds out Bill on the talk show that Kathy Najamy's the host of has been cheating on Birdie with Birdie's best friend Connie. And the saddest part is to see Mae Whitman's character Bernice, who is Birdie and Bill's little girl, sitting in the audience crying her eyes out. This is at the beginning of the movie, and it's just one of those things where it's like, Bernice is like, I want to go live with my dad, and all this stuff, and, she, just, goes on about, the little girl's like, well, I'd rather be with dad, and, eventually, Birdie turns everything around. But right at the beginning of the movie, it does talk about the fact that Birdie, is, like, she was, the it girl back when she was in high school, and, she alienated, as even the Wikipedia thing on this movie says, alienated a lot of her former classmates, and who, have, of course, left Smithville, the town that they end up going to, that Birdie and Bernice end up going to, and, some of them have left and returned, and, like, they just really, give Birdie a lot of flack over, the situation with the soon-to-be ex-husband and former friend. And, you know, it's, you know, one of those things where, you know, this movie is pretty hard, you know, especially the hardest part of the movie is where, what ends up happening is Ramona ends up dying, from a heart attack. And, well, when Ramona dies, you know, of course, Bill, the the estranged husband, comes back, and afterwards, you know, tells Birdie, hey, listen, I want a divorce because I want to, you know, go off and be with Connie, you know, now all the time and not be tied to you or Bernice. And, you know, Bernice follows Bill out to Bill's car and throws a screaming fit because, you know, Dad, you know, doesn't want her, or doesn't want to take her with him. And, you know, it's very hard for the kid to take. I've, you know, seen, you know, little kids having problems with that. Not that my parents are divorced, fortunately. They're still very married. But, anyway, I mean, I do recommend this movie. It floats to you if you want to watch it. Especially, I would recommend watching it with, like, you know, kids that are, you know, having parents that are getting a divorce, or, you know, watching it with, you know, a couple maybe getting a divorce, and just telling them, you know, there's, you know, you'll survive this. I mean, it just depends on you, you know, and how you want to handle it. But anyway, I'm going to pause here, and I've got another, you know, movie to review, and, you know, we'll get reviewing, okay?